Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 300. That's right, 300 of Be With Me, 7 Minutes of Biblical Wonder. Bit of a milestone, I suppose. Big fat number. Mile marker, I suppose. And I hope this is the best podcast for you ever. And I just wonder what will be the thing that touches you today. I hope it's the best one ever. I hope there's unction in the Holy Spirit. And maybe this is the one for you. We're in Luke chapter 16, and we're going to read 2/3 of the story of the rich man and Lazarus. The rich man gets no name. The Lazarus gets a name. The story gets flipped on its head, and it's a parable of Jesus, and parts of it are absolutely hilarious. I'll get to that. Here we go. This is verse 19 of Luke chapter 16. There was a rich man who was clothed in purple and fine linen, and who feasted sumptuously every day. And at his gate was laid a poor man named Lazarus, covered with sores, who desired to be fed with what fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, even the dogs came and licked his sores. The poor man died and was carried by the angels to Abraham's side. The rich man also died and was buried. And in Hades, being in torment, he lifted up his eyes and saw Abraham far off and Lazarus at his side. And he called out, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus to dip the end of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am in anguish in this flame. But Abraham said, Child, remember that you in your lifetime received your good things, and Lazarus in like manner bad things. But now he is comforted, and you are in anguish. And besides all this, between us and you, a great chasm has been fixed, in order that those who would pass from here to you may not be able, and none may cross from there to us. And I'm going to stop there. There's a little more details at the end. We'll get to that. Let's talk about the characters of the story. First of all, there's Lazarus. So he gets a name. So he gets a declination, if you will. We find out that he is desirous. In other words, he is hungry, that his stomach is not being met. We find out that he's defenseless, and we find this out because dogs come and lick him and lick his wounds, which I think is something that we would not do if we could. We'd find out that he's disabled. He had to be laid at this guy's front door. So he's got some sort of disability going on. And then we find out that his body's like decaying. He's got sores on it. And then finally it all ends with poor Lazarus dying. So what a picture of this guy. And we find that he wanted something. What he wanted was what fell from the rich man's table, like that would be enough. Now, this is a terrible thing to say. We have a dog, and he's very interested around dinner time at our table. And so there must be stuff that comes off my table that he is interested. So maybe I'm the bad guy in this story. Okay, and then there's this rich man, and we've been in the context of deploying resources either correctly or incorrectly, and certainly this guy deploys his resources just for himself. They demonstrate his heart, obviously. We find out the sumptuousness of his clothing. The color of it is this purple, which is the expensive color. So he's declaring to everybody, hey, I'm rich, just even by the color. The dyes were more expensive based on the color. We find the texture of his dress. We find that it's fine linen, not just linen, but fine linen, so it doesn't itch. And then we find what kind of a diet he has, which is a sumptuous feast. And then we also get a hint of the deployment of his resources, which is not to anybody but himself, so a disregard. So he's not even honored with a name. All right, here's my point that I want to get to the story today, is the structure of the story. Now, parables should not, commentary says they should not be pressed for doctrinal significance. In other words, you can't take every single detail in a parable and make a big theology about it. But this is a parable that was said by Jesus, and so he lets certain things slide. It's almost as if Jesus is saying, okay, here there's a guy who, we would say this differently today. We would say, okay, guy dies and he goes to the pearly gates and he's met by St. Peter. Jesus is kind of saying the same things about him being maybe carried to Abraham's side. When we go to heaven, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, God bless Abraham and God bless St. Peter, but I think we're going to have bigger fish to fry and bigger things to worship than those two guys. And probably both of them will be on their knees saying, I'm such a knucklehead. Thank you, Lord, for saving me, I think. Then we find this guy is carried by angels. Will we be carried by angels? I don't know. Do you know the way to heaven? If I knew the way right now, the directions, turn left at this street, turn right at this street, jump up and down, dig a hole, jump up in the air, I'd go there right now. So there's stuff that's above our pay grade. Even now, like, where's heaven? I don't know. Or how's my heart beating? I don't know. Who's making the rods and cones in my eyes work? I don't know. So there's stuff above our pay grade now, and there's stuff above our pay grade then. But these things were said with Jesus's approval, if you will. It's like Jesus saying, hey, there's a priest, a pastor, and a rabbi that walk into a bar. And the funny thing, I was laughing about this a few minutes ago. Jesus told a joke. It would be the perfect joke. I wonder if those are wandering around Israel today. So what theology? So Jesus lets a few things slide, I think, in this story. But what might be, critical? The anguish, the torment and flame. Maybe that's important. Or the great chasm has been fixed. Maybe that's important. And the longing and regret that the rich guy has, which we'll find out a little bit more about tomorrow. So there's some things there's something in the story that Jesus has let slide. That's what a parable is. But there's some things in the story he wants to know, and I guess the discernment is which is which. Okay, it's episode 300. We're learning about Lazarus and the rich man. I pray that for you, that this was the best podcast ever. And if not, come back tomorrow and maybe there'll be a better one. I love you all. Thanks for listening.